Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Zechariah 4, verse 6. Welcome to Martial Arts Past and Present with Sensei Ed Briz. Interviews and discussions with martial artists from around the world, along with tournament perspectives.
Welcome to another show of Martial Arts Past and Present. I am Sensei Ed Briz. I hope that you will continue on this martial arts journey with me. I would like to introduce our guest. He is a 10th Dan. We met a few years ago when I moved here originally to South Carolina. I heard so many good things about Mike that I had to contact him, and we have been friends ever since. Mike Hess, welcome.
Thank you.
Mike, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, like where you were born here, what you did for a living?
Born in West Virginia, raised here in South Carolina. Stayed in West Virginia a long time. As a kid coming up, moved to South Carolina. Started working with my dad at the old theaters, just messing around as a kid coming up, and then eventually got into the martial arts. Retired police officer after 35 years, and enjoy doing hobbies and been teaching karate since 1975.
Wow, that's good. And you were law enforcement for 35 years?
That's correct.
Wow, I thought they kicked you out after 25.
They do, but I just kept on going.
You just kept going, you didn't care.
Just kept on going. I didn't care.
How did you first get introduced to martial arts, and what drew you to it?
Pretty much is due to my mother. When she was alive, she was having rough times with my father. My father was very abusive, and my mom put me into martial arts so I could protect her, and that's what got me involved in it. I was 7 years old when I started. Didn't have a clue what I was doing, but that's what started. It was my mom. I did it for my mom.
So you were 7 years old, and that brings me to a good question. What do you think is a good age for kids to start, for that fact, in martial arts? Like I see, some schools take them in at 3 years old. What age do you think is a good age?
I say 3 to 5 to 7 years old. 7 year olds pretty much going into their own division. 3 to 5 years more of a foundation build, basically coordination drills. What I do with them. That's what we call little dragons. I teach a little dragon class, and basically I start them off really young, just give them foundations, understand the abilities of what stances are, how to punch, and just keeping their balance. It ain't a 30-minute class, but you'd be surprised what they can learn in 30 minutes.
Yeah, if they're paying attention.
Exactly, that's the hard thing.
That's the hard thing. So, do you have a lot of problems with the 3-year-olds? If you take, I don't know if you take in 3-year-olds, but if you have 3-year-olds, do you have any problems doing that with them?
Normally, I don't have a 30-minute class, so normally for 3-year-olds, they listen to me. They do the best they can as far as that. Their extension span is gone real quick. But other than that, I enjoy working with little kids. I really do. I think it's the history of our martial arts. Believe it or not, it's scary too.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it's true. I learned from, as you know, Superfoot Wallace. You know him also. When we did the interview, he said the reason kids started uh, taking that, well, exploded so much with the kids is because back in the 70s, Chuck Norris took on some kids onto one of the talk shows. I forgot which one it was. One of the talk shows, and ever since then, it just exploded for the kids. All kids wanted to do it. That was interesting because I got to tell you, before I spoke with Bill about it, I had no idea that that's how the kids got started in it. Before that, it was basically adults.
Right. Well, at one time I think it's more of a daycare program going on now to all the major karate schools and the CSRA. They do a lot of like a daycare for the kids in the martial arts. They give them a treat. They go pick them up in the
Hmm.
kindergarten or just take care of them the whole time or whatever. Of course, I don't do nothing like that, but I understand that. I got friends of mine that's actually makes a living out of that.
I have to tell you, when I was in Florida, I did the after school program, the summer program for 2 years, and then I just couldn't take it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I just
Imagine
wanted
so.
to, yeah, right. I just wanted to go back to teaching martial arts, and it was, it's actually, it's great money, but it's tough.
Right.
to do that because you're taking them in at 6 o'clock in the morning, taking them to school, picking them up from school. And then the summer program, you got them at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning till 6, 7 o'clock at night. It's a long time.
I
Mike,
guarantee you.
what?
Yep.
Yeah, right, absolutely. What year did you start in the martial arts, and how old were you? You said you were 7 before, right?
You're right. I started when I was 7, made my black belt in 1975. I was actually 15 years old, made black belt, and I started my own school in 1975 and been running it ever since.
Wow, you started in 75.
My mom was
Uh,
taking me back and forth so I could do my dojo, but my mom was my main reason. She was my sidekick, guarantee it. She's the one that pushed me hard.
that's great. Wow, you had a very supportive mom, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I lost her
That's
in
good.
2023, but yeah, she's still with me all to this day.
That's great. I mean, that's not great, but I mean, it's great that you're saying she's still with you to this day. That's
Oh
that
yeah,
that's good
definitely.
because it sounds like she really instilled a lot of basics into you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
Yeah,
life lessons, for a better word,
definitely,
life lessons. So
definitely.
that's great. I know I'm going to get off subject for a second. I know, and if you don't want to talk about this, you don't have to. But being you brought your mom up a couple of times, as you know, we were just talking over the last couple of days about this really nice vehicle that you have. I know it has nothing to do with martial arts, but I don't know if you
That's my
want to talk
mom's
anything.
too. That was hers. Oh yeah, I can talk
Okay,
about it. Oh,
go ahead.
yeah, it's
Tell us a little bit. I love the car. I think it's a beautiful vehicle. So go ahead. Tell us a little bit
well,
about it. What is it?
well, it's a 68 Cougar, 1968 Cougar. It's a 302 in the engine, and it's automatic. Had a 410 pods traction gear up under it. Had Tonorama on it. It's just a toy. I got it in high school. My mom was trying to make me learn how to do credit, and so she bought the car, and I had to pay her for the car, of course. And uh, it just went from there. The story about the car, it was like a cream white when I first got it. I painted the candy apple red. Mom loved the candy apple red.
Mm,
I didn't particularly like, so I had a real nice paint job put on it, making a Viper blue with Shelby stripes on it, and she couldn't stand it. So to make her happy, I took that paint job off and put it back red. So that's where it's at now. It's back to
wow.
red. Yeah, used to be a street rod, and it ain't no more. But it's just my little hot rod right around the house.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't mind taking a ride in that thing myself. It looks like it'll move pretty good.
It does all right.
Yeah. I think I know the answer to the next question, but I'm going to let you answer it anyway. Who has been the most influential figure in your martial arts journey and why?
Well, of course, my mother's going to be the top one. I mean, we all know that. But Mr. Kimmy, um, he's one to really push me forward. And back when I was training, once you made black belt, he pushed you to start your own school. It was entirely up to you,
Hmm.
but he pushed you to start your own school. And like I said, the day I made black belt, I went to him and said, I'm going to start my own school. Of course, he said, okay, whatever. You got my blessing. He didn't believe me, but I did. I started my own school the following month, after I made black belt. So I say Mr. Kimmy was one of the main ones. I had, and Sensei Manny was also one of my instructors. He was, Soto Manny was his name. He was a great man. These two fellas died in my life as far as, in the martial arts training. When Mr. Kimmy died, Sensei Manny came into my life, and I started with him, and then he died, and then I've just pretty much been on my own ever since, just training with individuals, different systems and stuff.
Have you studied any other martial arts styles besides what you do now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've got several different styles underneath me, from jiu-jitsu to aikido to taekwondo. That's some of them. China, kempo. I've studied all the different styles. I've got black belts under two different other styles. Other than that, the taekwondo and Zen Tai Chi is another system that I was involved in. Zen Shotokai, basically a kempo karate, is my basic foundation. That's what I teach. And of
And
course, I
that's
got
what you're
aikido
teaching
behind
now.
me too. Right, along with
Okay.
aikido too.
So that's what you like the best,
As far as
the
as far as
style.
the style, I say Zen Shotokai was probably my favorite style because of I could counter techniques and I couldn't figure out how I was countering them, but my instructor taught me how to counter, and it just flowed with it. I couldn't understand how or why because lot of the instructors, when I first started Aikido, I was countering his techniques, and he asked me, you already took Aikido before. So I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I don't know about Aikido. It's just that it's following up with my instructor taught me. And then that guy, the instructor, Lamar Sander, was my instructor then. And he said, "You must be a natural then." I said, "No, I'm not a natural by no means." And so he took me under his wing, and I've been under him ever since. He's 84 years old, still teaches.
And it's still teaching. Wow.
Still teaches. Comes down once a month. I mean, yeah, once a month in my dojo and teaches for us.
Wow, that's wonderful.
It
Have I
is.
met
He's
him?
awesome. I think you
Have I
have.
met
I
him
think
yet?
you did. I think you did.
Okay. All right.
I feel like you did.
I
I could
probably
be
have.
wrong.
I mean, you've invited me to so many wonderful things that
Right.
you're putting on. I gotta say, and I'm telling the audience also, it's like Mike here. He just has really welcomed me in without any question or anything. I don't know why. I think there's something wrong with him personally, but um, but he just welcomed me in. He invites me to different events that he's putting on with the martial arts and all. And I'm very happy and grateful that that he's done that. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I've always thought that in the martial arts, you can't be the only person out there who knows something. Other people out there know. You can learn from everybody that comes in your dojo, good or bad. You can also learn. So when I meet a new black belt, I turn the class over to them. Say, hey, let's see what you got. Let's roll.
Yeah, you did that with me, and then you never invited me back again. I don't know what happened with. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say, really? Come on.
I'm kidding. You know that.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, what core principles or philosophies for martial arts do you apply to your everyday life?
Confidence. Being able to have confidence and the ability to walk away if you need to. Back in my younger days, I was training full contact. I was fighting full contact, and Steve Borden was my instructor at that time, out of Vegas. And I would fight you in a heartbeat. I didn't care who you were. I'd just go in the ring, bam, we'd just go at it. It didn't matter. And then I learned the hard way that this you don't have to fight everybody. You can walk away from a lot of fights too. So I would say that would be my main thing is being able to have confidence in myself, knowing that I could, either go toe to toe with this person or just walk away. And
Hmm,
I feel like that's probably it.
that's great. Yeah, I always feel the best way is to walk away if you can.
If you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, you don't just teach traditional martial arts. And I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but you also have added something which I have added also to my style, and we both teach it, and that's Christianity.
Yeah, I don't push religion on any of my students, but I make sure we say prayer before class and prayer after class. I mean, my beliefs are one thing. I try to get everybody else involved. I let everybody know from the beginning they start my class. If you got a problem with us praying before class or praying after class, don't even come to my class. I don't need you. Um, but as far as also let the students, they have the options to say the prayer for me if they want to. I don't have to always say the prayer. A
Hmm.
lot of times my students will come up and say the prayers too, which it means a lot to me. A lot of fellowship from different school. My school in my dojo in Elko, South Carolina, is very Christian rated. I mean, I've got so many people there, parents that are just they'll stand up and just say the prayer for us too. I mean, it's like one big happy family, and of course, we're nothing without God anyhow. So that's what I tell everybody. So
Yeah, as I said before, I've been to your school a number of times, and I got to tell you, I'm always welcomed. And the students you have are always very nice. Uh, so yeah, that's great. What I've done in my in my classes is we open up with bowing to the cross, of course, and then as a courtesy, people think it's a worship thing or something like that. It's a courtesy because Jesus did die on the cross to save us from our sins,
right,
so we can have eternal life. But then we do a prayer list at the end. If anybody has anything they want to do on the put on the prayer list, some concerns or illnesses or whatever it might be, we put it on there and we just pray over that. At the end of class.
right,
But it's a good thing to have. Like I've basically thrown out the Eastern philosophies out of the system that I teach, and then what I did was I've had Christian principles straight from the
Right.
Bible. I don't know how far you've gone with it. We haven't talked about that really, but I don't know how far you've gone. I don't know if it's what you just mentioned is as far as you've gone with it, or what. I'm not sure.
Basically, like I said, we say prayer before class. We pray for students. I can tell you a story that's kind of like just a miracle story. We had a student of mine in there that was brain cancer, and the cancer in his brain was getting bigger and bigger. And my students and parents and all, we sat there and we prayed for this kid. I mean, prayed for him hard too. I mean, it's just like every class we was praying for him. And then his daddy was afraid he's going to lose him. I mean, it was a really sad situation. And then his daddy came back after they went to Atlanta for some kind of meeting with the doctor and all. And the daddy came back and says, "You're not going to believe this." So what? He goes, "It's not there no more." I said, "What do you mean? It's not there no
Mm.
more?" I said, "Oh my gosh, we just God works mysterious ways, and it was a miracle. I mean, the doctors couldn't explain it, you know. So we took credit for it. Of course, God did it, but we took the credit for it because the whole class got together and prayed for him. So we took the
Yeah,
credit.
good, good. So you're praying for these different things and so on and so forth.
Yes,
So you have
definitely.
taken it a little further. That's great. That's
Hmm.
great. I think it should be included in the martial arts,
I
but
agree,
that's my personal opinion.
and mine too. I agree with you though. And like I tell them when they first join, if you don't like us praying, there's a door. Don't even come. No,
Right,
just tell it like it is.
right.
I had a few of them get mad at me about it, but I don't care. It's to each his own.
Uh, when I started teaching in Florida, I remember had this organization came in that I used to be part of, and I wasn't anymore at the time. But they had come in, they saw the cross on the wall, and I always keep it above the flag. As a matter of fact, you can probably see it in the background over there.
Right,
um, I always keep it there, and they wanted me to take the flag down. I wouldn't do it, and that caused a
right.
big problem with them. But I didn't care. I left it there, and I will not take it down.
No,
Um, yeah, I mean, that's what I felt
we
I
say
should
to
do.
pledge allegiance. We say to pledge allegiance in our school. I don't push that on anybody, but we say to pledge allegiance before class starts. We say prayer, pledge allegiance, and then we get the class rolling. You can see I got my flag on me on my patch now. I've always had a flag on it. I'm very
Mhm.
believe in the American way, no matter what.
What, uh, what benefits do you feel that people get from learning martial arts?
Physical fitness for one thing. Um, Being able, like I said earlier, to be able to walk away from a fight, having confidence, give them self-esteem. Of course, the kids getting the discipline they need in the martial arts. Um, I think the main thing, and when you go through martial arts training and you go through classes and stuff, that you actually learn more about yourself. You learn what your abilities are that you never dreamed that you could do, but you actually you put your mind to it, you can. I think that as you coming up, you also know that, like I was telling you earlier, fight on the drop of a hat. Well, you don't always have to fight. You can walk away from it too. But just knowing you can take care of whatever situation you get yourself into. Of course, in law enforcement, I learned that too. Just got to take control of whatever's happening. So I
Mm,
think the benefits in the martial arts is, staying physical fit and being able to have confidence in yourself and know how you can protect yourself and your family. That's just my opinion.
oh. Now, with law enforcement, when you retired, did you feel were you happy? "Oh, I'm retired." At any point, did you feel, "I should have stayed longer?" Anything like that?
I was basically forced to retire. I had a heart attack. Um,
Oh,
once, yeah, my heart. I got COVID, and that took my heart out, and that's what the doctor said anyhow. So, and that pretty much put my career on line. I mean, I'd still be policing if I could right now, but I know I can't because of my heart situation. But God's got a different plan for me, and I'm just going by whatever He's throwing at me. I'm taking it as it goes along.
very good. I'd just like to take a minute, Mike, if you just stay with me for a minute. I'd like to take a minute and just directly say to my audience that I hope you're all enjoying these interviews that I do as much as I am. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. You can also show your support for as little as $5 a month to keep us going. And you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/martial arts past and present. Whatever you can help with would be great, and it would be really greatly appreciated. And I just want to thank you all for that. So back to Mike. That's a public service announcement. Back to Mike. How have cultural or societal changes influenced the practice of your martial arts?
You know, when you said that to me, I was trying to think of what I could say that people could understand what I'm saying. Um,
Okay. I don't know if they'd
I
understand the
think
question.
I think personally, you hear the word master, okay? I
Mm.
feel like the back in the day, when I was a kid coming up, you heard of masters, and they were actually great martial artists. I mean, really good martial artists, and they were considered masters from all the training they brought over from Okinawa to here or wherever. And I think that the people nowadays are saying master too much. I think that different schools say master such and such is doing this or master such and such doing that. To me, all the masters are dead and gone. We don't have a one
Mhm.
master, and that's upstairs, and
Right.
that's God Himself, Jesus Christ. When they say master so and so, it just to me is a waste of words, you know, because like I said, I feel that all the masters are dead and gone. The true person in the martial arts, whatever rank they are, if they're a black belt, to me, they're a teacher. That's just the way they should. They should be called a sensei because they're a teacher.
Very interesting, Mike, because that's another thing that we're on the same page with. Like my title is actually Shihan. But what does Shihan mean? It means master. And that's why I went
Right?
back to sensei. That's
Eh,
exactly why I went back to sensei, because what is a sensei? A teacher or instructor, and that's what we all are.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
even though
Yeah. My
that's the
title's
rank that
Hanshi.
Hanchi, right?
My
Exactly.
Hanshi. Yes, that's my title, and I'm a black belt. Period.
Right. Right. Exactly. And that's why even with this podcast, I'm using sensei Ed Briz because I'm a teacher and instructor. I'm no
Right.
master, like you just said a couple of minutes ago. We have one master, only one,
That's right.
and he's up
That's
there.
it.
And so I don't want to be called master. And so many people have called me Master Briz, actually by my full last name, but Master Briz and this, that, and the other thing. So it's like I just don't like it. Never did. I always told everybody no. I'd rather you call me my first name than call me Shihan or Master.
Right. I agree
So
with that.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
What's the most common mistake you see beginners make, and how do you think they can avoid that mistake that they make?
My opinion about a beginner is that they want to get a belt too quick. They don't want to train for it. Their mistake is they think they can get a belt because they know something, but they really don't know. Um, we teach basics and katas, forms, however you want to put it. With the If you got the basics out of the way, then you start your form. Once you start your form, you can understand the basics, learn the bunkai of the system that you're working on or whatever kata you're working on. I think that me personally, beginners are um, you find out real quick if they want it or not. If they try hard and they train, uh, then there's the type of person that gets it. But the ones that are just there to get a belt and real quick, to me, that's just um, their mistake. They shouldn't try. They should just, you know, listen to their instructor, and when they're ready for a belt, the instructor tell them they're ready. It's not that you come up and say, "Hey, when can I take my belt?" My belt test. I think that that's one of the main things that a beginner has a problem with is saying, trying to move around too quick, trying to get up rank too quick.
Yeah, I remember coming up the ranks. If you asked your instructor when you were testing,
Yeah,
whatever plan he had for you was now put on hold
forever until he
forever.
feels like it's coming back. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh, and that's if they were nice to you. If they weren't nice to you, they just beat you up and throw you out the window.
That's pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah. What impact has the rise of mixed martial arts, MMA, had on traditional martial arts? Or do you think there has been any?
I think that MMA is a fight. I think it's nothing but a fight. I think it's trained to fight. Don't get me wrong. I think they're awesome fighters. I don't see martial arts involved in it though, personally, because to me, as you're coming up, this is just my opinion. When we're coming up into martial arts, you learn discipline, you learn respect. MMA fighters don't have discipline, don't have respect. They want to kick your butt, be done with you, and rub it in your face at the same time. And that's just my opinion. I mean, some of them are great fighters. Don't get me wrong, and some of them have martial arts experience behind them. But to me, they forget where their roots are at. That's just my opinion. I feel like they left their roots where the beginning. They're on top of the world now because they're MMA fighters, and their past really don't mean nothing to them. But they wouldn't be an MMA fighter if it wasn't for their past. The way I look at it on that.
Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting that you said that. Um, how do you address skepticism about the effectiveness of traditional martial arts in the real world self-defense?
I got in trouble with this one, so I can go ahead and get in trouble again.
You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
One step self defense to me is a joke. One step self defense to me is just a joke. There's nothing realistic in it. A traditional karate school teaches one step self defense. I'm the type of person that, that's not, you're not going to be in a forward stance. You're not going to be in a horse stance when you're fighting somebody. It's going to be a comfortable, like your walking stance that, you got to defend yourself quick. You
Right.
don't have time to jump in a karate stance or anything that number there. And to me, that's where I have fallen out with a lot of people because I make it more realistic. I like it more where it's more hands on. You're being attacked. It's realistic. If you don't block, you get hit. It hurts. You know,
Mm.
instead of I'm holding the block. I'm holding the punch back, so I won't hurt you. I mean, I
Hmm.
want that person to swing at me. I want it to be real as possible, and that's back from my police days. I mean, being a police officer because I trained that way because I knew that nobody on the street's going to say, "Okay, here comes a punch, or here it comes," So I know it's going to be coming, so I'm going to be ready for it.
Right.
So that's another thing is when you go to traditional tournaments, okay, they're hard to find. Hard to find traditional tournaments now. You go to a tournament um, in this CSRA area, they're more of a screaming and everybody's more participation trophies. I mean, they don't have to work for it. Everybody gets the same thing. I mean, it's really to me is just a waste. If you got a kid that's um, maybe mental or something that there need to help them out, and all, I can understand that. But the kids out here that work their butts off and they get the same trophy. To me, that's just wrong. I mean, because the kid works
Right.
his butt off and he's getting the same thing the guy that just came in there to pay money.
Mhm.
Uh, and lately, if you notice the tournaments that the they scream at the judges. I mean, it's not like they just scream. And then I saw where they take the introduction away from them. And I said, why on earth do y'all take? I mean, to me, that's the social skills.
Mhm.
They take the introduction away from them. And I said, that's to me, you're trying to teach the student how to get in front of people, being
Right.
comfortable in front of people.
Right.
And so they took that away. So I got a lot of problems with the quote traditional karate tournaments now because they're not. All the karate terms have changed so much. I mean, you got so many rules and regulations compared to what it used to be.
That is so true. I know the one we just did in September, we try to keep it to um to where they have to do their introduction. All this whenever I judge anything, if they're doing, say, bow staff, that seems to be the biggest thing, where they move this way, they scream. They move that way, they scream. They move down, they scream. And it's like, really? Like, it's not a ki. That's drawing attention to yourself so you get more points.
And they're calling it traditional now. That's what blows my mind. The new tournaments around the area are calling that traditional. And I just, you know, you don't scream at the judges. You ki when you need to ki. It's just, and when you use a bow, you use a bow. You use it with control, and you're in control of the weapon all the time. You don't throw it away and catch it and bring it back down. To me, that's crazy. That's ludicrous.
Right. Right. It's like, get throw it up in the air.
Yeah,
Go
I mean,
ahead.
you see
See
it
if you,
now. I mean, like
uh,
you see swords being thrown around. You see, I mean, which are not real sword, thank goodness. Katanas. You don't see them; they're real. But the bows are being chunked up in the air and then they grab. You get a real bow and do that, it's not gonna happen. All these
that's
I
right.
call them toothpick bows.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
Because like even the U.S. Open, that's all they allow is toothpicks.
right.
It's at least that's what it used to be. I haven't been to the U.S. Open in quite some time now, but that's what it used to be. Can you share being you have the martial arts and law enforcement behind you? Can you share a story of a time when martial arts helped you outside the dojo or the ring?
Jeez, we got so many
Just
stories on
one. I'm
that.
sure you have plenty. I'm sure you have plenty, but just one to
um,
work.
when one time we had a situation where yeah, individual kept um, very hostile, very very hostile and stuff, and um, I was trying to control the situation with him, being as hostile as he was and everything. And I noticed it's like the call itself is disturbance, okay? And I noticed that around the area where he was at, there's a lot of fishing stuff and all. And so I started making up. I made up a story about I just saw a walking fish walk by his house. And he looked at me like I was crazy, because he's wanting to kill himself. He already had a shotgun to his underneath his chin and everything. And my partner was with me, looking at me like I was lost my mind. But I was trying to diffuse the situation by making him think something else. Well, then he started cussing, raising, saying all this stuff, how bad he's going to kill himself and all that. And I kept talking about there's a walking fish. There goes another walking fish, and my partner thought I lost my freaking mind. So anyhow, I ended up making him put the gun down to come outside to let me show him the fish that were walking around, and cuffed him up, took him away.
That's great. So you use verbal judo.
That was definitely verbal judo. Yes, definitely. Yeah, that was
I
definitely
love
it.
it. That's great. I love it.
It
Now, what
worked.
about those? Yeah, right. It worked, right? You got them. Now, what about people who want to take martial arts, but they aren't interested in doing any fighting or competing? How do you think can that? How can that work?
I don't think it can work, to be honest with you. I think that if you're a child, you're getting into the martial arts, you want to compete, that's one thing. If you're an adult, you want to compete, or you don't want to compete, you're still going to have to fight. I mean, if you want to learn self defense, I mean, why are you learning martial arts in the first place? To defend yourself, I would think. I mean, I figure that's probably what's going on.
Right.
And if you're going to learn martial arts and you say I don't want to fight, then go do ballet or something. Yeah, I don't see why you even going to a martial arts school if you don't want to fight. I can understand compete, in tournaments and stuff. I can understand that, be competitive on something like that. But as far as self defense, you're going to a martial arts school to learn self defense. You got to be able to fight. You got to know
Right.
what it feels like to get hit. You got to know watch the body language. You got to know what to look for on the street. If you got your head down, you're walking from one place to another, you're a target. You got to have that head
Mm.
up and look proud. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. You know, and if you're just coming to a martial arts school to say, okay, I'm going to learn martial arts, but I don't want to fight. Well, okay, what do you want to do? Clean the floor for me or something? I mean, there's nothing else I can think of.
Yeah. You gave us a funny story a minute ago when I asked if how things worked for you, if anything worked for you outside the dojo, and that was a pretty funny story with the fish. But let's see if we can get this one. What's the funniest or most unexpected thing that's happened to you during training in a competition or a competition
To me or my students?
to you?
To me.
To you.
All right, think of a duck walk. Okay, duck walk. You wobble when you duck walk, wobble. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I've got about 7 to 10 students sitting down on all four. Okay, and I'm fixing to pass over them and throw a sidekick and break a board. Right, 2 boards. Okay, I'm running full speed ahead, and then one of the kids popped his head up. So when he popped his head up, that stop my run. So when I stopped my run, I slowed down. I'm getting right on top of them, and I didn't want to hit them, so I duck walk all the way, crept all the way to the end. So
Oh
that was
no.
embarrassing but funny.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So now that you brought it up, all right, give me one from one of your students.
Remember when the American Most Funniest Videos were on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a student of mine that was going in for his test. I think he's taking a brown belt test or something, and we get on the mats to fight. One of my black belts were on the mat with him, and the technique was take his legs and pull him out from under him, because he grabbed from behind, come underneath and grab, pull from underneath him, right? So he
Right.
grabbed him from behind from a bear hug. He reached down and grabbed his feet and pulled him out from under him. When he did, it snatched his pants off. And the
Oh,
kid was trying his best to keep his pants on, but the guy was doing the technique, didn't pay it no attention, and went on down through with it. So this guy's running around, it was tiny whiteys the whole time. It's still on video to this day. Go to
Is it
YouTube, you'll
still?
see it. It's still there. It's hilarious. It is. I mean, I thought I was going to die. It was so
That
funny.
is funny. As long as it's not you standing there with your tidy whities on, it's
No,
funny.
that wasn't me on that. Thank goodness. That was me
Right,
on the floor
exactly.
rolling around laughing.
Oh man, that's. I'm just trying to picture that. It's funny.
It's on YouTube. You'll love it.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah,
Karate bloopers. You can't miss it. You can't miss it.
I'm gonna definitely check it out. What what lessons from the past do you think are most relevant for martial artists today?
Being able to believe in themselves, push them to their limit, and train. Remember, you got to train, learn the bunkai of each individual move that you're trying to teach. Be able to teach and know the bunkai of the katas that you're teaching.
Mhm.
I think in the past that wasn't pushed as hard as it is now. I mean, and traditionally, I think that that's one of the main things. I think a lot of the schools are watered down compared to what it used to be. I think the past is more of a hardcore type
Mhm.
versus just kind of laid back class, like the McDojos or whatever you call them, McDojos, I think they
The
call them.
McDojo, the McDojos,
Yeah,
yes.
McDojos, yeah, those are pitiful. I mean, we had a few of them around here that just I don't understand it. I don't understand how people pay that kind of money for something that's so useless. You know,
They don't know
not
any
saying
better.
I'm the great. Yeah, I
Right.
reckon. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Mike, if people want to get to know you more or find you, how can they do that?
You can go to mikehesskarate.com. You can find out everything about me at that. That's my website. If you're in the Aiken area, you can look me up as far as ask about my name. Everybody around here pretty much knows me from this area. But mikehesskarate.com will get me more than anything. It's quicker.
Okay. And you have two schools, you said, right? Elko and Aiken.
Yeah, I got two schools, one in Aiken, one in Elko. Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. So everybody out there, remember that if you're in the South Carolina area, it's a great school to go to. I've been there. Mike, this has been great. I've had a lot of fun. Time just flew by. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to interview you today. I've enjoyed this, and I'd like to have you back in the future.
Sure, it's like a plan.
All right, that sounds good. Mike,
Appreciate
thanks
it. Thank you
again.
for your time. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Make sure you look into Super Patch. It's great for boosting immunity, athletic performance, pain reduction, and much more. Visit mapap.superpatch.com to learn more. Thank you for joining us today. To learn more about us, visit our Substack at martialartspastandpresent.com. If you would like to support us, go to patreon.com/martialartspastandpresent. If you like the content and have not yet subscribed, you can find us on all of the major platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.